going to see if I can find somebody called Mr. Steve Baker. Golly gosh, all the way from Hamburg in Germany with the most wonderful blues hat. Steve, how are you? Good morning.
I'm,
Good
I'm good,
afternoon, even.
thank you. Hi.
How are you doing, sir? Great to see you.
Well, it's nice to be able to be here, man, and brightens up my otherwise rather dull weekend.
Last time we chatted, you were about to do your first gig in many, many months. You're off to the park, I recall.
Yeah, and I did, and I stood in the middle of a public park with a view out across the river, and no reflecting surfaces at all, and about 50 people sitting on the grass, which was a kind of challenging acoustic situation, but it was nice to get out and play. But there's been very little since.
Well, I'm so glad you could join us. And I have to say, also a double thank you. Welcome back to Harpin by the Sea, as you were our very, very, very first international special guest artist, weren't you? Back in 2013.
Was that when it was? I remember the show, and I know that Russell did a great couple of videos, which I still actually refer to occasionally. There's a couple that turned out really well. Band was super as well. The band was fantastic.
I think our co-founder Stuart Mackay had met with you at Hohner in Trossingen, and all the crew there, the wonderful people that get together usually each autumn in Germany to celebrate harmonica there. And
Well, it's the Harmonica Masters workshops, which I founded in 2003, and Stuart's been a regular visitor. So that was
you've
the
come to,
connection.
I believe you come to show us something rather special today. And you'll be back
Well,
again, I hasten to add, on Sunday, am I right?
yeah, and this evening as well, I'll be joining the people from Hohner on their presentation in the early evening. But today, or rather this afternoon, I wanted to present the new Hohner HB52 Harp Blaster microphone, which I have here in my hand.
Okay, I'm going to spotlight you if I may. I'm going to back
Yeah.
out and you can tell us all about this new invention, a wonderful, wonderful harmonica microphone. I'll back out now.
All right, mate. Okay, so hi everyone. It's great to be here, even if virtually. I think it's wonderful that the team has put this event together and that it's drawn people from around the world. I think it really shows the strength of the harmonica community, and I'm proud to be part of it. Hohner has had harmonica microphones in the past. They are some better than others. And they actually took over the Astatic JT30 from the Astatic Corporation for a while, but couldn't get the elements anymore. And it's been quite a long time since there's really been a dedicated mic. The HB52 is a really, I think, an excellent development. It's something I've been waiting for a long time, and I was closely involved with the development because I've played for years a very similar microphone, this, which was made out of a Harley Davidson blinker for me with an XLR socket and a volume control on the back. And when Hohner entered into a cooperation with SE Electronics, which is a Austrian company which manufactures high-end microphones for stage and studio, here you see the shots from their excellent website. Basically, I consulted very closely with their developer, Tom Stubich, who's a fantastic microphone technician, and I've been playing these smaller shells, a 5 centimeter diameter, for years, as you see from my Harley microphone. And I basically suggested the features which make it look like it does. Because the important thing about this mic, apart from the fact that you can hammer nails with it, it's extremely robust, is the fact that it's got a right angle cutoff here at the front between the grill and the sides, so that you can get a very good enclosure. It's got a volume control on the back. This is a Bourne potentiometer. It's a fantastic volume control. It's totally linear. You don't get the sort of effect of it going up like that. It goes up like that. Totally linear. And a very important feature is the socket, which is angled backwards, because this means it's much, much easier to get your hands around it, because this part is not in the way of the bottom of your hand. So it makes it great to hold and enclose. And as you can see, I'm holding this with my little finger and ring finger, with the middle finger on the edge of the grill. And like that, you can just put the harmonica in and holding it quite a distance, you notice, from the front of the grill, and then you can get your hands around it like this, so that you can get a really good enclosure. And these external design features mean that the handling is absolutely great. So I think that's worked out really, really well. What SE Electronics did, Tom Stubich, the developer, he took a whole selection of elements from like cool vintage harmonica microphones that were of course never made for that purpose, and designed from the ground up a dynamic high impedance element to get that sound. But it's modern, it's not 50 years old, and it doesn't matter if you drop it. And I think he got pretty close, really. We did comparisons. We compared this with, you know, stuff like Vintage Statics and Shure Black Label and these kind of elements. And this is pretty close, I would say. I'm certainly very happy with it. And you can hear what it sounds like. I've got an amp behind me, if you can see it. This is a Marble Max here, small, tiny tube, tiny tweed tube amp, and I've got a delay pedal in front of it, so there's a little bit of slapback echo on the signal. And this is basically, you can pretty much make it sound how you like. So it's pretty responsive. If you play louder, you really get it to rip. But if you play quieter, it's nice and sweet. So I reckon the designs worked out pretty well. The thing about it that makes it immensely practical is that it has a XLR socket. So for the cable, all you need is a female XLR standard microphone cable with a 1/4-inch jack at the other end. And this will then give you, you don't have to do any work, basically. You don't have to, like with the old Hohner Blues Blaster, you had to have a special cable, and this you can buy in any music store, as I say. Female XLR to 1/4-inch jack. You do not need an impedance transformer because it's a high Z output, so you just plug it into your amp and play it. And that is certainly extremely practical, because of course if you are a working musician, if you tour or whatever, it is an unbelievable pain in the ass to have to find special cables or get someone to solder you one or something like this. Here you just go into any music store and buy one. So yeah, I think this has basically been what I've been looking for years. I've retired my vintage mics because this sound-wise does everything that I want from a microphone. The small size means that you can get great hand effects. I'll just have to plug this back in if I can. The small size gives you great hand effects, and it is virtually indestructible. the Tom Stubich says you can hammer nails with it. I haven't tried, but I've dropped it. I've, stuff like this because I played quite a lot of gigs on this, and it is indestructible. So I think it's a pretty good solution for the harmonica player who wants a handheld amp to play through a tube, a handheld mic to play through a tube amp. It does not distort as much as quite a lot of popular harmonica microphones, because I prefer a signal that I can control, and you have more control over a clean sound. You can make a clean sound dirty, you cannot make a dirty sound clean. So that to me is what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for an element that distorts heavily. I'm looking for an element that provides a nice balanced, cleanish tone, and then to be able to fix the tone through the enclosure and the amp settings. The HB52 Heart Blaster microphone. I can only recommend it. I'll be seeing you later on. I'll be joining the Hohner team in their presentation this evening, and I shall be also putting on a seminar on the country tuning, the major seventh tuning, tomorrow evening. So join me then. And otherwise, I hope everyone has a brilliant day. Enjoy this great event. Thanks to Richard, Trevor, Russell, the whole team. You've been doing a great job, and it's great to be part of it. Okay,
Steve, thank you very, very, very much indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and show your appreciation for Steve Baker. Vielen Dank, vielen Dank, Herr Baker. Thanks for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you later on. And again, when you're going to be talking to us tomorrow about the major 7 harmonica tuning, correct? Yeah. Okay, cool. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
I'm going to spotlight you now.
I'll be in the bar if anyone wants to talk.
Thank you, Steve.